Anything that can be turned into an algorithm or a mathematical formula is a pattern. We can imitate a pattern infinite times. For instance, a vertical line can be an atomic unit. You can make the exact same line beside it and you can repeat the process as many times as you want, and thus the vertical line becomes a pattern. One of the beautiful examples of a pattern is Fibonacci series. Starting with 0 and 1, the series can be extended just by adding the two preceding numbers together. The beauty is how two numbers are enough to make a series that approaches infinity. Patterns can be as simple as the previous example of vertical lines. However, they can be as complex as neurons being fired and hormones being released when a human mind encounters a dangerous situation. Likewise, Mandala, which means circle in Sanskrit, is a human-made, however, fascinating form of geometric patterns. Now it has become an art form. Patterns are not the sole creation of human beings. On the contrary, we ourselves are patterns that are created by the nature. We don't realize, but actually we are surrounded by patterns. The nature has patterns such as waves, spirals, tessellation, and so on. Every phenomenon occurring in the nature follows a sequence. Similarly, human behavior can be a pattern. With respect to human behavior, a pattern is a repetitive action on a repetitive perception in a repetitive state of mind. With the help of patterns, we can know why we do what we do. However, there are several other patterns that can influence each other, and a human brain can't keep track of a plethora of patterns. If you think a human mind follows complete randomness and it's impossible to comprehend what it thinks when it's in love, an awkward situation, or in the middle of coitus, then you are absolutely wrong. Inability to find a pattern in our behavior makes us believe that a human brain is a beautiful creation to date, and its creators are change and evolution. It is full of complex patterns that undoubtedly include the effect of multiple parameters such as hormones, sensory inputs, genes, and most importantly, your conscience. Variation in any of the parameters may change a pattern. As a result, our brain rewires itself, and now it has the latest patterns. We see that our brain is always changing, it is always rewiring. However, we tend to forget that the change also has a pattern that can be turned into an algorithm or a mathematical formula. There is a fascinating relationship between addiction and patterns. Just like any other actions, smoking a cigarette is also an action. A smoker's brain craves for a cigarette on the occurrence of various patterns that have been stored inside her brain. For instance, let's suppose a person has a habit of smoking a cigarette after taking dinner. Every time after having dinner, when she smokes a cigarette, her mind stores the action of smoking along with the perception and the state of mind at that particular time. Her mind, with the help of organs, takes various inputs from the surroundings and associates with her mental state. Therefore, if the same patterns in which she smokes occur irrespective of having dinner, in this scenario, without a doubt, she is going to crave for a cigarette. As a result, people who generally don't follow patterns don't get addicted to anything, for their mind is constantly storing new patterns that are being written over old patterns. This is a major problem, but how to deal with it and how to break the patterns? To quit smoking, she needs to erase the pattern from her brain, and to erase the pattern, she has to quit smoking after having dinner. She can smoke, but she has to do it randomly, so that her brain gets confused and cannot associate her current action with the previous patterns. Slowly, she can quit smoking without getting the feeling of craving in the future.